This is the 2015 CBA Africa CONCOURS delegates from Nairobi in Kenya. Hello and welcome. Not only is this the 45th anniversary of the Kenya Alfa Romeo Owners Club, who first put on the event in 1970, but also the 45th anniversary of the annual CONCOURS Delegates event, marking a rich history of competition and dedication.
It's too much stress. I tell you, when you start one of these bikes.
I've been in CONCOURS for more than 20 years.
I'm looking for number one.
Painstakingly restored.
Throughout the years, the strength of the competition has just got bigger and bigger. It has grown to become one of the largest gatherings of classic bikes and cars in Africa. So if you have a passion for all things elegant, this is the place to be. With entrants coming together from all over Africa, who will be crowned this year's winners of the 2015 CBA Africa CONCOURS Delegates.
The CONCOURS Delegates, sponsored by CBA.
With well over 120 car and bike owners all with their eyes on the top prizes, each entrant will have to go through a rigorous set of tests to be judged winners of their class. Judging categories for the cars will be underside, external finish, interior and boot, engine and engine compartment, roadworthiness, age, and for the bikes, external finish, engine and mechanical, trim, roadworthiness, age. The more points earned, the closer to being this year's CONCOURS Delegates overall winner. And making sure the judges know their dust from their rust, for the bikes, Robert Gao.
Rules are, bike has to be ridden to the first station, which is over there.
And for the cars, Michael Hughes.
The judging hasn't really changed over the years. What has changed is that the levels of preparation are getting that much better. And in keeping with that, we're asking our judges just to look a little bit more at the detail.
I'm clamping down on obvious faults, things that could be easy to rectify. I'd understand if somebody's got an old part and he doesn't have a replacement, that's fine.
They're looking for scratches, they're looking for specks of dirt, they're looking at the alignment of the bolts, they're looking at whether the bolts are painted over.
You have a bike that's new, we obviously have less faults.
They're looking at the preparation and the way the wiring harnesses are fixed to the body. They're very detailed in their inspection.
If you've got a scratch in a place that was really blatant, we have to go hard on the guy.
1976.
So we've got a very nice level of judging, and I think that'll be reflected in the scores today.
Kicking off the event, driving up and over the Total Quartz inspection ramp is Angelo Esposito in his 1978 Alpha Spider. And taking the honor of riding up front is Group Head of Marketing for CBA Africa, Chris Pasha.
CBA is very, very proud to sponsor the Africa CONCOURS Delegates. This is our 4th year, and we look forward to having a fantastic day, and we can't wait to see who emerges tops in all the categories.
With the crowd ready to go, it's time for the first cars to roll. Let judging commence for the utility vehicles. And first car to receive the judge's inspection is Rajesh Lakhani in his 1994 Mini Moke. And we're away.
General dirtiness, lots of oil leaks, a lot of rust and everything as well.
Taking the first bow is Paulo Cravos, first in class with his 1979 Suzuki LJ80. Meanwhile, over with the bikes, any last-minute preparations should have been finished because judging has begun in the street motorcycles. First under the spotlight is Usman Malik of the Ugandan Bikers Association with his Yamaha R6. A very close class with just 2 points separating first and second. The winner is Gerald Roloff's 1925 Triumph. Loving the enthusiasm, but that's not really the type of bike to pull a wheelie on.
What a great car that is.
Next up is car number 22, a 1951 1500 RMA Riley, owned by loving owner Francis Kungu, who we caught up with a few months before the show.
I've had this car now for the last, this is going to be the 4th year. The vehicle, actually, the performance is very good, you know. The engine is in perfect condition. It actually drives like any other car. When I'm driving this car, the people who are driving by and the opposite side of the road, they keep hooting. A lot of people approach me. They want to use it for a wedding, and you know, it really attracts a lot of attention. Last year, our biggest problem was the other side of the car was quite shabby, you know, and it was pointed out to me. That's what I'm concentrating on now. And now I'm doing the other side. I'm also working on any small leak that will be there by replacing the gaskets. So far, the installation is almost complete because I had done the body before. I'm not worried about the competition. I'm going to be ready for them.
Francis sounds very confident. Everything must be ready. Maybe not?
It was working yesterday on the highway. Now it starts misbehaving, but it's going to be okay. This is the first kick. It tells you the engine is in tip-top condition. I've done what I could, and I think I'm comfortable with it. I'm looking for number 1.
We'll see if Francis's confidence pays off later when he faces the judges. Of course, there aren't just cars and bikes to drool over at this year's concours. No, it's also a good chance to see how things used to work at the Heritage Collection.
Using bamboo, very hot fuel.
This 1919 Ransom steam engine at 96 years old is the oldest exhibit at the event. But if you already own a steam engine, then how about splashing out on one of the many cars on offer in the classic sale?
A very splendid selection of classic cars, or a superb collection.
And for all of your car needs, the car trade stands take care of those.
Please make sure you go to the trade show.
One family who would never put their car in the classic car sale are the Singhs from Nairobi.
We're representing all the Datsuns in Nairobi, Kenya. We call ourselves the Datsun Brothers. This you can see. Since Dad came to Kenya, it's his 3rd car.
We wanted to sell this car, but then we grounded it. After that, my son took it over.
I worked on it day and night. struggled with my parents, my father, my mother. They supported me, and now it's here at the CONCOURS. It was my aim every year coming at the CONCOURS, seeing these cars made me pride that also I need to bring my dad's history.
All my 3 boys really did hard work on it. I'm very happy.
And we'll find out soon just how many points the Datsun brothers drum up. Next up, touring cars and station wagons.
So the common gear moves forward. See if you can beat Mr. Peter Karanja's time.
Next year, take the engine out, put it on the back seat and push it down the line.
Just looking at the difference.
And taking the class is the 1958 VW Beetle entered by Phoenix Aviation. Having been overall winner at the CONCOURS 4 times before, it's almost an impossible car to beat in its class. Will we be seeing this car later on amongst the overall winners? It's now the turn of the Datsun brothers to face the judges. But they face stiff competition from none other than Francis Kungu in his Riley. Francis's work on the underside has paid off. It's much better than last year. Datsun brothers also looking good.
Yeah.
This will be close. And the Datsun brothers take it, scoring much better for the exterior finish than Francis's Riley.
Winner of Class 4, Gershon Singh.
There's still more that can be done, but well, a day is today.
Always positive. We know you'll be back next year stronger than ever. More judging now for touring cars and station wagons. And taking this class, the ever-immaculate 1967 Alfa Romeo Sprint owned by Gailing May. making only his second appearance at the CONCOURS show, all the way from South Africa, it's Bevan Beckman.
I brought up a 1947 big twin Harley Davidson. It's a post-war motorcycle. They made them in the war and after the war for servicemen, policemen and in the army specifically. This is the first time this bike is competing in the CONCOURS. I'm pleased to have brought it to showcase it here. I actually restored it for the CONCOURS and I have restored it from front to back. I've replaced every single bolt, nut. Everything has been made new that was old. There's no old parts except for inside the engine and the gearbox, which you can't change.
Up against Bevan in this very international class is Matthew Wilson, who's travelled from Kigali in Rwanda.
I'm here with my Yamaha VMAX. It's 2003 year, introduced originally by Yamaha in 1985. I bought the bike originally from UK and I imported it into Kenya in 2006. The bike today is based in Kigali, where I live, and I didn't particularly want to ride from Kigali to here myself. It's a very long journey, so I hired my mechanic to do that.
Charged with restoring the bike is none other than Mr. Bike himself, Sati Jabo.
I knew Sati from 2007. In 2007, I'd actually entered the bike in the CONCOURS before, but it was not done up by Sati, it was just cleaned by him. The bike needs quite a few things which aren't evident when you look at it. One of the first things is that the gearbox has lost second gear. It is rideable, but it's irritating. In general, the quality of the paint, the finishing, the chrome and whatever is very tatty compared to, say, when I entered it in 07. With Sati and his abilities, if you were to see the bike when it's finished, you'd see an enormous difference from how it looks now.
With the restoration complete, Matt's revved up and ready to go.
I mean, the main difference from when we got the bike to now, it's chalk and cheese. Now everything is absolutely immaculate. The detail that has gone into to go right down to everything is impressive.
Biggest challenge on Matt's bike was doing it to the originality. Matt's bike has turned to better than a new bike from the showroom.
Sati's done a great job, I can't complain. But I expected that from him because he really knows his job.
We'll see who comes out on top soon, as it's now back to the car judging.
This to Nairobi City Council. We think the county Next up, as Bob was telling us, is Rajesh Lakhani's Rolls-Royce. That lovely Bentley goes forward to the safety judges. Look at that. And with a beautiful old period suitcase as well.
A very competitive class this one, and just pipping Alec Davis's Jaguar E-Type into second place, the judges scored the most points to the Jaguar Mark V owned by Phoenix Aviation.
So that's the 1951 Jaguar Mark V Phoenix Aviation.
I'm particularly excited about this year's Concorde Elegance because there are more bikes than last year's.
Which leads us nicely on to the next class to be judged. And in this class, Matt and Bevan go head-to-head. They're not alone though, as Michael Jr. Kibuika is hoping to upset the party. Matt's up first. So far so good for all three bikes. Just 3 points separating them, with Bevan just nudging ahead on engine and mechanical. It's a close call, but there can only be one winner. And Bevan comes out on top, making up points for the age of the bike.
It's an accomplishment for first time. It feels good. Hard work paid off. I'm pleased with the result.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen.
And one of my favorite cars was actually that red one over there.
Again of
Definitely, yeah.
CBA
I like the Beetles and the Minis too.
Chloride oxide.
I think I love the MG just down there. Yes,
The yellowish one, yes,
Yeah.
looks beautiful.
And that beautiful yellow car belongs to CONCOURS veteran Paul Chemgorem, who's entering this 1969 MG BGT for the very first time.
I'm an old participant. I've been in CONCOURS for more than 20 years, now 20 years. What happens is usually to improve of what you have done in the past, because you learn as you go along. And that's the main thing. Improve to get more points and make sure the car is properly done. I've had this car almost 1.5 years. When I got the car first time, it was very clean, no rust. Everything was working, with an exception of the handbrake. It was a car that was good for restoration. The most challenging thing in restoring cars is time. It's taken me now 1 year since I started dismantling. I'm just about to finish the underneath of the car, and I'm just now returning back things, and then we should be able to put a final paint. At least mine, I think, will be different because I've got a different color. The rest are usually red. So I do hope that this time I should get some good number.
These cars, they break always the last day. I don't know why.
Usually during restoration, there's small little things that you tend to say, let me leave it for tomorrow, I will fix it. But in the end, you end up not doing it. Like today, my battery was not tightened. So there are quite a number of small little things, but it makes one to lose points.
Find out how Paul's MG fares a little later, because now it's lunchtime. The CBA Africa Concours d'Elegance event provides fantastic food and refreshments for all its visitors, with many local specialities on offer. Families are also made very welcome at the Brookside Kids Zone.
Brookside Kids area.
It's quite nice to come and have a look. I haven't been here for a while. It's really nice to see lots of cars in really good condition, nicely polished, nicely cleaned. Fun day for all the family, I think.
I think it connects people in a lot of ways. Like Nairobi is a big city, but it's also a small city, and that people really do keep to themselves. So I think events like this do great in bringing people together that are not usually, going to see each other. So yeah, I like that.
We of course are excited that the crowds have come out. They have come out in style. This year the event theme was Elegance is Forever. People are looking elegant, they've dressed for the occasion. We couldn't ask for more.
This year, the ever-popular fancy dress competition was hosted by public image guru Derek Banga.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
The reason I think our MG will stand out is because it's a cabriolet, and it's quite unique in terms of the structure of the car itself, as you say. And it's a car you can obviously take out and drive around, on a sunny Sunday. But yeah, I believe it'll stand a good chance of getting up there in terms of the rankings.
It was a royal clean sweep for Daljit and Rajneet Sembi as they took the judging by storm, taking overall winner in the open sports cars up to 1600cc class, driving Chandan Gidomal's 1954 MGTF.
It is an African theme because this is an African event. The costume judges. Brilliant. Keep waving, Your Majesty. That's it, very slowly.
And the winner for this year's fancy dress competition is Roger Tanner, driving his 1949 Bentley Mark 6. Somebody who always likes to dress the part is Paul Chemgorem. But will the judges admire his MG as much as his outfit?
Wana Chemgorem, straight from the Wild West. That's the 1969 MGB GT. What a car. The car, the costume. And then behind it is the MGB, so a slightly different model. Thank you very much. That's Roger Stedman.
The steering boot is a tone, both of them.
It's good to see someone else.
And then on the ramp is again a very, very old friend of this event, Tor Allen.
So
Three MGs and a Peugeot, and the Peugeot takes the class. Tor Allen from Tanzania beats Paul into third place.
At least they told me that my car is looking better this year.
Well done, Tor. Very nice to see you. They're on their way down, I've heard.
Time now for the only thing that ever stops the judging.
The skydive.
The free-fall parachute display provided by the Kenyan Skydiving Club.
We've got one member from the Kenya Parachute Regiment.
Now let's drop back in on the bikes for some of the oldest machines to be seen at the event. Riding in first is Ted Wandai on his father Peter's entry, the 1956 BSA C10L. Back in the day when Raleigh used to make motorcycles as well, this is Piet Mas and his 1927 Raleigh Model 16. And can it be beaten? This is Sati Jabal's multi-time winner. The 1925 DKW has always turned out to perfection. It really is a museum piece, so no surprises Sati Jabal's 1925 DKW takes the class, and I'm sure we'll see it again later on when the overall winners are announced. From the oldest bikes, it's now over to the oldest cars. And just what cars they are. These beauties are considered the pinnacle of vintage cars on display here at the CONCOURS. Dickon Wilcock has entered his 1934 Railton. Next up, Simon Fisher's 1930 Ford Model A Coupe. This is Rashid Mughal's 1930 Ford Model A Phaeton. And completing the class is the Ford Model A Tudor presented by Phoenix Aviation.
Can you do that again, Dickon? Just show us. Look at that. Those are the windscreen wipers. This is a 1934 Railton.
Simon Fisher, who's presented it today.
Hello, Simon. Good afternoon.
These cars showing their age, the Ford Model A needing a push.
Number 75, Rashid Mughal's 1930 Ford Phaeton.
And now the Ford Model A Phaeton refusing at the first. They will be deducted points for that.
Got all money to put nice stainless steel exhaust.
Other than the odd push here or there, these cars are presented in pretty much perfect condition. So judging will always be tight. There can only be one winner though, and today it's the Ford Model A Tudor, best in class.
Look at that beautiful car, make its way. Wonderful. The horn works.
With the judging complete and before the overall winners are announced, it's time for everybody to take a bow in the Grand Parade. Always a popular part of the show. And now it's over to the Kenyan Alfa Romeo Owners Club chairman, Bob Dewar.
On with the prize giving. I would say to all prize winners, enjoy your moment, and we're very grateful to CBA for that. The prize to Gailing May, 1967 Alfa Romeo Sprint. The most elegant car, 1957 Mercedes 190 SL. The most elegant bike, an Iron Horse made in 2006. Asante Sana to all competitors, officials and spectators. I take my hat off to all of you. It has been a truly wonderful day. When I think back 45 years to the first Concours, which was a small club event, none of us founder members would ever have dreamed that in 2015 we would have a Concours of Africa continental status. Andrew Mayanja. They came from Rwanda, South Africa, Tanzania and Uganda. Quite remarkable.
Remarkable cars, remarkable bikes. Let's see who the overall winners are. In the bikes, third place, Bevan Beckman and his 1947 Harley Davidson. Second, Jasmine Jubble's 1958 Norton Racer. And first place, Sati Jubble's 1925 DKW.
Sati, I like your hat.
There's too much stress. I tell you, when you start one of these bikes, you start at 5 o'clock in the morning and then start 7, started work on it, and then you're finished at 7. In the evening, it's a hard task.
And hold the trophy.
Hard task, yes, but he'll still be back next year. Now for the cars. Third place, Dickon Wilcox 1934 Railton. Second, Phoenix Aviation's 1958 VW Beetle.
And the overall winner, for the third time, that's a hat trick.
And the overall winner, once again, Phoenix Aviation with the 1928 Ford Model A Tudor.
Now we can have the final.
Very good to win, third time around, and the competition was good. It wasn't that bad. Plus, it gives us the oomph to come next year again.
A fantastic end to the day that just got better with a fashion show showcasing the best of Kenyan design. And music from Kenyan trio Elani.
Kuna watu hatari wenye mapenzi zenye sirikali, letu nalo linajua kali, penzi letu siri.
Congratulations to everybody that took part in the 2015 CBA Africa Concours d'Elegance. What an amazing event. We'll be back in 2016 and we look forward to seeing you all again next year.